quite on form, at least today.
Yeah, plus Zantaras only has 18 health. The 1Deeks definitely much more viable in the hands of the likes of Zantaras and just allows him to pass over the MP7, where Paz can actually absorb a little bit more damage. He's on 86 HP with the Kevlar. So going to be allowing Zantaras to go for the early picks. He was playing very, very well. I mean, he was definitely the shining beacon, the shining light on Space Soldiers previously in the best of 3 we saw. I think he dropped overall over 40 kills in the duration of 2 maps, not far off 50. Pop flash into peak. Zantaras will go down. Doesn't tell the CTs a great deal about where Space Soldiers are currently clumped up because there is 30 seconds left. They have enough time to make a move now on the A side, which is where the bomb is currently residing. So Valda's going to have to move around with AZ. And that leaves Mertz on his own on the site. Does have the M4. AZ actually landing the shot partially through the wall. Bit of a nutty shot, but now Paz with the M4 opens up 10 seconds. Gonna just make it run straight for the side. They can't go to mess around any longer. Will take out Paz, but there's just enough time for the bomb plant. 1v1 against Calyx.
Calyx, we did talk about Paz, but Calyx was definitely hitting some nutty shots as well. He's going to reposition himself now. AZ, it's all about timing. Will he spot when Calyx has made his way towards... Oh! Calyx! The shot from Heli decapitates AZ, survives at 2 HP, and Space Soldiers, they win the round. But that was such a sweet shot coming up from Calyx.
And it had to be. He couldn't afford to take any more damage. 2 health and a dream is all the Space Soldiers had, but they have broken North down into bite-sized little chunks. And it sees AZ with a FAMAS. Everyone else with Deagles. This is a bit of a nightmare for North. They can hear some footsteps on B long. May be tossed out, but no damage inflicted early stages.
Two Mac-10s and Hano Major and Engine. To be honest, the previous round could have gone the way Space Soldiers in a much more convincing fashion if Major had stayed alive towards mid, towards Pillar. But AZ taken down with a wall bang there. Things come down to the wire. In the meantime, Space Soldiers taking it slow. They do have Engine. The backline is looking for any adventurous Danish players. As Paz swapping the AK out for the Mac-10. He wants to go for this. He is going to be leading the charge. 4 CTs lying in wait. The FAMAS in the hands of AZ. Like I mentioned, the gun, the assault rifle in the hands of North. 3 Deagles. And it's going to be Mertz who's going to be making contact first. Playing from Chicken Coop. He sees the Molotov. The smoke's raining in. He's going to be ready for this. And it's going to be AZ. Makes contact. Finds one. Quick trade coming in from Zantaras. Zantaras spots that Mertz as well. Just rattling off shots. Goes for the spray. Gets the kill on the Mertz. And now spots a Kirby as well. And he dismantles him. It's all involved there. And he's going to get spotted on a Major. And getting perforated by Calyx through the smoke. And 1 player remains. It's MSL. And there's not much you can do. Zantaras picking up a quad kill with an AK-47 of his.
Yeah, I think in the first best of 3, which remember was over pretty fast in just 2 maps, and both maps were pretty comfortable, he got 2 aces and 2 or 3 4Ks alongside that. So he's already picked up 1 alongside North, and he definitely is picked up from where he left off in that last best of 3. He was a monster. He was the God Towers that many teams will fear. Full eco, not a single bit of equipment has been purchased in this round. North, full USBs. And are going to have to deal with an oncoming Turkish Space Soldiers as they charge down drop zone and also through B long. They have got themselves 2 kills though, North, which is way more than I had originally anticipated. Make that a 3rd. Surely North can't pluck out this round. That would be absolutely disgusting. And it's not going to happen. Major will put a silence to that thought. But still, North with 3 kills and a full USP round. That could have gone a whole lot worse as far as they're concerned.
Absolutely. And what's surprising is against Mac-10s, like, you know, 2 guns where you just pretty much run and gun. And yeah, just 1 AK being lost though, if you look at the right for Space Soldiers. So yes, it did look a little scary, and North should be pretty happy with the fact that they got 3 kills. So that's that. Mertz with the AWP in the meantime. He's just got a kit as well to work with. That's about it. The rest of the players using some of an alright, some of utility. People would like to have a few more incendiaries, but apart from that, 4 M4s and the 1 kit in the hands of Mertz. As for Space Soldiers taking things slow. 5 rifles all around. They are gathering up towards mid. Zantaras would be leading the way, where Mertz is holding pretty off angle. It's all about timing here, and he's going to miss the shots that executes him. And that's the A bombs are almost completely compromised. MSL's there. Suddenly making his drop down from Juliet, I believe it's called. He will be spotted out and gets taken up by Engine.
Forcing the remaining North players to just peace out of there. It looks like they actually want to save, but guess who's waiting? It's Major. Only able to capitalize on one. Information gathered. A quick wraparound from Paz. I see maybe trying to stop the save dead in its tracks. They do have a couple players who are pretty healthy in terms of money, but they need to be careful. Paz just down to $200. Zentaris 2.4k. But they've just obliterated Kirby, so it's worthwhile. Now AZ, last remaining player, they're going to know roughly where he is. And the noose beginning to tighten, I should say. Oh, but the headshots are raining in from AZ. He doesn't want to give up this AK anytime soon. They're going to have to pry it out of his dead fingers, and he's exactly what Paz has done. So North will concede yet again. The only round they've won is the pistol.
I'm not sure if you're following that when Calyx got that wallbang shot through the door.
I didn't see it. No, I was watching AZ.
Yeah, that was just so ridiculous from Calyx. He just randomly shot through. So, yeah. Okay, so the gods are on the side of Space Soldiers, at least early here. As AZ, despite its valiant efforts, will not be able to hold on to AK-47. You can see the two Macklins coming out again from Engine and Calyx. However, for North, do have some upgraded pistols. Mertz will be going for the full Eco because he would, of course, want to get his hands on the big green gun. 5.7s, CZs, Deagle, P250. We've actually seen each type of pistol. The only thing missing on a dual. Marsielle. Nice lonesome to its danger. Mertz will be Molotoved off, so what can MSL do is the question. Not really known for his fragging capabilities, but I say that, he decapitates Zentaris, finds a second follow-up shot as well onto Calyx, and just like that, 2 players down for Space Soldiers, and they haven't got a single kill yet.
AZ, he's laid in wait. Can he pounce too? He's going to spot Major. The CZ comes out for the kill. Needs to reload. Only 2 bullets left in the magazine. That's going to cost him his life, but surely North are in good enough shape with both Paz and Engine very low. 2-on-4. This should be a Danish round. There's going to be reloads coming in for Space Soldiers. Nade could very well claim a kill. Landing too deep. Van Valder's somehow still alive. Looked like he was dead to rights there. Already very low. And they're trying their best to find some pixels to execute from, but fair play to North. They're playing this one flawlessly, and they're going to take the round. MSL's leading by example those first 2 kills. Great work by AZ. And North, their 2 rounds have came off the back of pistols.
Yep, and MSL, credit where it's due. I was disparaging him a bit there, but he landed his 2 quick kills. And Space Soldiers immediately rotating B, but being caught. The fact that North had not really rotated off at all. And it's going to be a little annoying for Space Soldiers, although they are in the lead, giving away a round that they should have honestly won in a pretty convincing fashion. The dual-off setup comes out for North. It's going to be AZ and Mertz. Space Soldiers though, AKs all around. No off for Paz. He's not quite yet.
AZ laid in wait from Chicken Coop, hoping that he can find some prey to execute off. And they're going to need kills because, as a result of going for double off, they've left themselves a little bit scarce in terms of utility. Paz not respecting the defense, runs straight out into a kill, but he will be obliterated from the nade courtesy of Kirby. Zentaris up on the balcony is going to do so much damage once again. Headshot delivered first class to AZ. Going to look to boost Engine on top of the tree, but he's been spotted by Kirby, who continues to strike with his AK-47. He's gone for 2 in this round so far and counting. MSL from the backside should have finished off that kill outright onto Zentaris. Not the kind of player that you want to give a second chance to, but the nade will snatch his life away. And now Major, 1-on-3, has been spotted. He does have the bombs. This is going to force the CTs back out into the open. They can't afford to just sit in position anymore. And Major should be, at the very least, be able to get a bomb plant. And that's way better than it was looking for Space Soldiers.
He's going to get the bomb down. Doesn't have to help to work with though. What's a flashbacks? He's going to try and take the fight to North, try and get the first pick. MSL not checking the corner. Kirby has to, but he's going to be caught looking the wrong way and make lots out of himself. But MSL once again digging North out from what looks like a lost round. He will make his way towards mid to try and pick up the op. Yep, and he should be able to get a defuse very comfortably with a lot of time to spare. For North, they get to 3 rounds. but they have hemorrhaged quite a number of players. And if you look at the cash, Kirby can buy for himself, Valde can buy for himself, so they can eke out a pretty decent buy, but I'd be a little worried. Right now, 3-4, still anyone's game, but bear in mind, this is a map pick from Space Soldiers. Map number 2 is Nuke, where one would favor North, to be very honest.
Yeah, we saw Space Soldiers play it earlier, and honestly, they didn't look that good against B-Pro. They ended up winning, but it was mainly just off Zantares being a god, just beasting the map. He landed, I think, high 20s in the end, and so many impactful frags. You got a bunch of, aces and 4Ks. He was just a man mountain. So against North, you don't expect to see that kind of performance come out as easily. So this for me is a must-win map for Space Soldiers. It's going to be a painful round for them to lose, albeit, as you said, they've now dwindled away all the money that North had banked up. So it's an important round for North to win.
Indeed. It's 2 UMPs. Tried going for drop control. Major gets spotted out, and they know there's a player there who's trying to lose some Major. He's stuck in a rough spot. Zantares does get a frag. That's all he'll find. Just one kill before he gets taken down by Valde, who's down to 23 points of health, but he's done his job. He's picked up a double. He'll be playing the safe. Paz swapping his UMP for the AK-47 from his fallen comrade. Still a lot of time to work with. Man down. Smoke coming in with the B doors, and it looks like it is going to be a hit here. They're telegraphing it. It's going to be Kirby is waiting, playing the anti-flash perfectly. He finds Paz. Valde coming out a little too early. Calyx replies back. Now 3v2.
Flashbang does connect on Kirby. He's going to have to rest on MSL to dig him out. And indeed he shall. 29 seconds. MSL spots the head. And will perform surgery onto both Calyx and Engine. So North do live to fight another day. Another 3 players did lose their lives though. But really now at this stage, Space Soldiers aren't really able to get any kind of a buy. So this should be an economy building round for North. I want to make sure he loses as few guns as possible.
3 Deagles, a couple of P-50s, but yeah, we've seen what Zantares can with the Deagle as well, so should be a little wary of that. MSL doing quite a lot of work. He is second top fragging for his team at the moment. In-game leader putting in the work, and here comes the play from Space Soldiers. They're wrapping around through mid. There's one player wrapping around from Danger, Zantares. And you see the rotation already in play. Valde spots out the shadow of Paz. He's gonna get the kill. Kirby from the party. Zantares does find MSL. But he won't find more than that. Kirby will shut him down. It's all on the Major. He's picked up an AK-47. Beautiful shot into Kirby. He's looking for more. There's emerges, and he finds another one before he can take it down. It's North hemorrhaging too many players for what should have been a much cleaner round.
Exactly. As I said at the beginning, it has to be an economy building round. Losing 3 players again is putting them into a horrible position. Yes, they'll have a full purchase here, but you can see the most money they have in the bank is easy on $1,600. So if Space Soldiers win this, then North, they have been economically crippled. You know, they're going to be back into a situation where Space Soldiers can leapfrog them and take the lead. So very much like the last round, the pressure is on for North. They don't have any money to fall back on.
Hurts with the aggressive positioning, and he whiffs it. If he misses a shot like that into Calyx, we're going to get punished. So, man advantage being rested by Space Soldiers early on in this round. They have Zantares playing towards drop. Just making noise, making a bit of noise, is trying to play distraction. And he will evacuate the premises as he joins the rest of his teammates. As they look like, at least for now, but they're going to be going for this A hit. North has 2 players ready and waiting. It does happen. That is, of course, MSL and Kirby. They have one incendiary and a flashbang. That's all they have for the time being. These soldiers seem to be having second thoughts about this. Paz, he's got the bomb on his back. Zantares still playing on top of drop. You can see the players slowly rotating back towards B. They have the man advantage. However, it take too long. They run out of time. Might not have the space to really clear out all these corners, and that could be a problem.
That's well-timed and well-played Molotov by AZ. Zantares is now by himself. He'd have liked to have had a double peek, a 2-pronged attack onto balcony where AZ is, but instead Zantares has got blocked out. AZ's able to relocate. As you highlighted, time is running scarce. It's not looking good anymore. Major is watching for the rotation, though, and Kirby is still on A, completely isolated from Valdo, who's going to try and do this all alone. He's going to try and be Rambo for his team. Going to pick up the first one into Engine. Now just try and stall as long as possible. Get Kirby in position, but he's fallen. And now both Paz and Calyx can chime together, get a crossfire established, and try and snuff out Kirby's light before he can get anywhere close to the site. He doesn't have any nades, doesn't have a kit either. And Paz just missing out on that timing, but the flashbang is in. Not efficient in terms of landing on Kirby, but his position now is known, and he knows that he's living on borrowed time. If he wants to try and clutch this, it has to be now. Instead, tries to back away to save the AK, and will be silenced by Paz. Solid round for Space Soldiers, and North have nothing left in the bank.
Yeah, they won 4 rounds in a row, and they have nothing, absolutely nothing. And Paz, some of those shots were neat from him. It kind of felt like Space Soldiers fell into the trap of waiting too long. And like you mentioned, that Molotov, I think it was from AZ, was perfectly timed. They really didn't have much time. Their hand was kind of forced. But again, Major doing a great job just lurking around, waiting to cut off the rotation. He got the kill on MSL, and Kirby just got delayed trying to get the kill on Major. So 5-all scores a tide. However, North gone for this. Forced by 5-7 in the hands of Valde. UMP still waiting on Mertz. I think Mertz is going to go for the full eco. Yeah, just a CZ being purchased for him. He would be looking... Never mind. He's going to be investing as well with the rest of his team. The 2 Deegs, the 5-7, the CZ, and the UMP. That's definitely not enough to do.
I love that Paz as well, by the way. He's fully embraced the Zantares meme of "I'm feeling thank you." He's actually called his knife that. I gotta love that. Like a bit of in-team banter. But yeah, as you highlighted, North, it simply is not good enough for a buy at this stage. Of course, they realise that if they want to prioritise the likes of AWPs, then they're going to have to bite the bullet in a couple of rounds anyway. But the fact of the matter is that Mertz really hasn't done much with the AWP. He's not been impactful. He is bottom fragging. He's on 3 and 6. We've seen him a couple of times on long just get picked off by AKs. He hasn't had an ability to impact this game whatsoever. So even if you do prioritise the AWP, is it worth it at this stage for North?
Also, the fact being that at least, I could be wrong here, but at least the times I've seen him wield the AWP, he was pretty much in a glass cannon, or he didn't have much utility to work with. And it's always a problem, right? As an AWP, if you miss a first shot, you want to fall back, you can use the flashbangs to try and... oh my word. Mertz completely whiffing pretty much a free kill there. But yeah, he has been kind of handicapped. It's almost like they give him the option. All right, here's a big green gun. Go find a kill, all right? And it just hasn't panned out for him. And even his positioning going out towards long, it's pretty hit and miss. He hasn't... I believe he hasn't been given the opportunity to be a little bit more free-flowing with it, or to, you know, pull a little bit more of an unorthodox angle or positioning. He just had it like 2-3 times max, I do believe. And he's been most of the times all alone. You know, he really hasn't had any backup or someone to bounce things off. So I don't really want to count him out yet. You know, still the best of 3 series, still map number 1. But I do... I've seen this guy off. I really do believe that he definitely has the chops to you know, to belong in a team like North. So yeah, I'd still wait. I'd still say the jury's a little out on him, you know, being ineffective.
Oh, definitely. I fully agree. I think he's a very good player. I think in terms of this game, though, he's been a bit off the boil. I mean, as you say, they really should have had at least 1 kill on the side. Kind of whiffed a little bit, but North able to save both Valde and AZ, so it's going to be able to come back into this round with UMP in a 5-7 alongside some Kevlar. And Valde and AZ are going to be playing together, so they are banking on an A-sided hit, putting the 2 power plays in close proximity. They can get some AKs away from Space Soldiers, they'll be even better off for it. But it's not looking like they're going to get too many opportunities for the foreseeable future. Paz is watching from mid. Valde, if he goes for an aggressive play, should be a dead man. But he actually gets the kill on Paz. Elsewhere, though, Space Soldiers have been plucking out frags and making an additional 1. Kirby will be shut down, but Mertz from behind with the USP. We'll get the upper hand of Zantares. What the hell is happening here? How has Valde got himself 2 kills? How is this even in the realms of possibility that North could bounce back in this round? It's now just got a whole lot harder, though, considering that North collectively only have 26 health.
Valde picking up his 2 kick. The first kill... fair enough. For the second kill, it really shouldn't have happened, but he had a great positioning here. Only to spot the head out of the T he killed. So, a little unfortunate save for Space Soldiers, but 2v2, with not much health to work with. They don't even have a kit or any utility. Although Flashbang has been picked up, and Mertz, if he catches Calyx, this could be brutal, and he is going to land a headshot. It's all on Major, and Major, he's been biding his time. He's been waiting patiently for Calyx to clear out mid before he could get the bomb down, so at least he'd have some backup. 1v2, very much doable for Major, considering how low the other two players are. Flashbang. This is cheeky from Valde. It's very cheeky. He won't be expecting, or does he? Did he hear Valde drop down? It's a little strange. The Major is not checking towards Plateau, but might actually work out in his favor. He's gonna get the kill on Valde. No idea where Mertz is, but doesn't really matter. Gonna clutch it out. So Major, the hero of the round. Space Soldiers, though, losing too many players in that particular one.
Yeah, well played at the end. I was dating what North did. They stuck together, and the idea is that in a kind of 2-on-1 situation, you're expecting to have two different angles to watch out for. But sticking together allows them to maybe bait one player out and get the return frag. Unfortunately for their Major, just too good. And Mertz, he did have the option. He had $4,900. It would have been another glass cannon, but instead he goes for an M4 with the kit to boot. So maybe just gives you a bit of an insider's perspective as to what he's feeling right now. Not really working with the AWP, so switch up to the assault rifle and see if that will stick.
Yeah, I mean, could definitely work out as Mertz. Yeah, immediately works out. He picks up a double kill. Nice little spray there, catching both Calyx and Engine. Pants around their ankles. But in the meantime, Mr. Zantaris is ready and waiting. He's gonna find one. Finds two. Valde getting completely dismantled there. Now MSL, he's on the hunt. Zantaris is, and he's gonna get the kill. Catching Zantaris looking the wrong way. So man advantage still retained by North. However, Mertz down to 40 HP. It's gonna come down to MSL. He's a rotator. He's gonna be the first guy to help out Mertz once the call comes in. But Mertz is positioning. They don't check him. They walk out dry. Troublesome. MSL, however, he's gonna find Major. That is huge. And now Mertz is aware where the other player might be as well. He's going to catch up Paz looking the wrong way, and it's going to be the third kill for himself. So Mertz immediately getting some frags as soon as he switches to the assault rifles.
It's a solid call too, because typically Space Soldiers just play two players on long together, and with an AWP, very possible you land one of those shots, but then the avenge frag can come in instantaneously, and that's not necessarily good enough for the CTs. They need to shut it down and shut it down with authority. So having the M4 allows for you to go on that spree killing pursuit a little bit easier than with an AWP. So definitely well played by Mertz. He now has an AK-47, so he's upgraded that M4. He should be even more potent on the long side, and it looks even Space Soldiers are going to try their hand again over on this side. They've got three players outside. Zantaris is going to be taking point, going in first. Trying to see if he can maybe rustle a couple of feathers. He's going to see a smoke instead. Should be the red light in his eyes, but still going to do a lot of damage to Mertz. Down to 12. Is he going to be able to escape just about by the skin of his teeth? But that is a trade certainly gone the way of Zantaris and Space Soldiers.
Mertz got to be wondering, how is this even happening? Played it right. Behind the edge of the smoke. He wasn't even completely exposed, by the way. I think it was at the edge of that wall. But Zantaris doing Zantaris things. There's one on top, and here's a problem for North. They don't have much utility remaining. Flashbang will use it by MSL. He's the player with the smoke and the Molotov, and he's going to use it up right now. Again, they still have 45 seconds to work with to do Space Soldiers, and look at the rotation taking place now. They're going to be making towards B. Making the way towards B. That's the right call. Just one player playing there. That's easy. Very capable indeed. Needs to go big here. Zantaris in the meantime spots out Mertz, finishes off the job, he gets to kill, and that could be the call to rotate out Valde, leaving it all by his lonesome as a hit is going to be coming in, and he's got to go big here. He's got to go big or go home. There's got to be a spray coming in, but a flashback is perfect. It's pristine. As they come charging in towards the bombs, and Emerson replies back. Valde spraying through the smoke. He gets the engine as well. 10 seconds remaining. They got to get the bomb down. As Emerson, what could he possibly do? Nothing, says Major.
Which is the same answer that North will be receiving from their bank when they ask how much money we have left. Absolutely nout. Zilch. And so they're going to have to go for another force buy. We've been here before. A force buy of garbage. A UMP, pistols alongside it. no kits. They at least have some nades to play with, but it's nowhere near as many as they'd like. So Space Soldiers will be favored to take a 9-6 half, which would be solid goal on the T side of Cobblestone. Paz can take some damage though, but it's negligible at best. It's only 24 from the nades, and he's able to live to fight another day.
A little bit of initial aggression from north towards the area, but Kirby will be mauled alive towards drop. The split in half, and Terrace finds AZ, all day 5-7 in hand. He will do nothing. Terrace will drop him as well, and that leaves 2 players alive. Energy is flying. No trouble picking up both the kills. 9-6 for Space Soldiers. It was pretty close and contested initially, Vince, but at the end, Space Soldiers kind of being a little too hard to handle for North by the looks of it.
Yeah, it's really the mid portion of the half where you started to see North come back and try and salvage. After winning the pistol, they lost the subsequent 4 rounds, and then they picked up 4 of their own. That's at that point. I think they were 5-4 in the lead. We thought, okay, North, maybe this is where you can start to shift through the gears. But even though they're winning rounds, they were taking a lot of casualties, and so it always seemed like the economy may catch up with them, which is ultimately what happened, allowing Space Soldiers to leapfrog over them and take a commanding 9-6 half. Now, of course, if North can win the pistol, game's back on. But if Space Soldiers win it, then it's going to be rough for North to get back into this, especially considering it was Space Soldiers' choice of map.
Absolutely. And we had this discussion earlier as well, that we were expecting North to take Nuke, so Space Soldiers should really be looking to close this one out. Just pull their pants up, because Nuke is going to be very rough. Nuke's going to be pretty rough against North. They are historically pretty good on that map. And Space Soldiers, it's going to... yeah, I think it's going to come to map number 3, which is... So that should be fun. But for the time being, yeah, it's going to come out pistol round. And North, I didn't get to see their other game, and I haven't been watching them for a while, but they do seem like, you know, if you'd seen Space Soldiers face off against North, I think a few months ago, like close to a year back, it would have been so much more different, as in their approach to the game. Because right now, North are playing extremely reactive from what I see. But then again, it is a CT side. You know, but they've been playing extremely reactive, and the pace has been just dictated by Space Soldiers throughout. And even the setups they've been going for, pretty unimaginative, like you mentioned earlier. We had, I do believe it was Mertz playing towards A-Long all by his lonesome, where he was susceptible to a 2 or 3-man rush and whatnot. They really didn't have great drop control either. It's another story altogether that Space Soldiers really didn't go for drop control that much, apart from the last few rounds. So overall, haven't been too impressed by North City side. But then again, T side, anything's possible. And you know, with MSL at the helm, I'm sure they do have a few tricks up the sleeve.
You definitely hope so. And historically, if you go back to some of MSL's earlier teams, like Dignitas, it's obviously a very different roster. It was mainly the T side of Cobblestone that I was always interested in watch, because his T side strats were pretty solid. This was back when he was playing alongside Rubino, who was typically like an entry fragger onto B long, was super, super good, and North were pretty damn good on Cobblestone back then. But obviously back then they didn't have Mertz, they didn't have Kirby, they didn't have AZ, so it's a whole different ball game in that respect. So I'm very curious to see how they do approach the T side. But MSL typically has good strats when it comes to Cobblestone T sides.
Just mentioned AZ and Kirby, so just looking at it on paper, I mean, this team should be, I'd say, you know, better than all the lineup. I mean, these guys, if they go off, like a player like AZ, like Kirby, if these guys go off, they can be a little too hard to handle as well. And Mertz as well, you know, new player, everyone's like, who the hell is this guy? He's impressed me quite a bit. So the components are there for this team. And Rubino, like, he used to get a lot of flack, a lot of undeserved flack. I felt. I think he was one of the best players in whatever team he played on. Like, such a great role player, you know, that missing X factor, and he's always been missing the teams he's left. Like, most people are like, what, Rubino? He's not a star player. He's not like you know, he doesn't do anything crazy or whatnot. But the second he leaves a team, you immediately feel the loss of impact that his disappearance leads to. So you have the right components. You have all the right players in the team right now. So for MSL, it's going to come down to him. Like, what does he have in the tactical book of his?
Yeah, with Rubino, I always felt like he was kind of the unsung hero of the teams that he was part of. He was the guy kind of doing the harder roles, trying to pick up the team, allow the star players to really shine. And unfortunately, we saw earlier when he was playing with Heroic that they just didn't really have a star. teeing off. They didn't have Yugi. He wasn't playing. They had S-Tag instead, and no one else really stood up to the plate and delivered. Obviously, we're just filling in a bit of time here because I think Valdo was having some internet issues, but it looks like he's back now. But we should be jumping live. This pistol, very important though, I've got to say. If Space Soldiers win this pistol, I can see them romping towards a fairly comfortable Cobblestone. If North take it, this could get quite interesting.
Space Soldiers with Engine taking the hit for his team. No kits though. I'm just curious. He's gone for the CZ, so one would assume he'd be playing towards drop. He's got a nade as well to try and be a nuisance towards the drop area, but North are wasting no time. 4 players charging towards long, but they should be wary. If there's 3 CTs waiting in major, Paz is doing a great job baiting it out for his teammate. Are they going to check the corner? It's a question. Marsielle doesn't quite check it, and now Mage is such a good spot to snipe them all from above. He's going to find one. Is he going to find more is the question, and he is getting hunted down, gets destroyed by Mertz. But there's another player, and that is of course Mr. Xantares, who's going to pick up 2 quick kills, and is looking for more as AZ will drop him, and that leaves Engine alone in the 1v2.
They know roughly where the bomb is, but they don't realize that Valdo's making a rotation all the way through connector. He jumped out of window. He's now making a move around. So Engine decides to take the initiative. He doesn't want to leave this up to chance. He's going to try and grab the round by the balls. And, well, unfortunately, his CZ not quite on point. AZ will perforate his head, and North will indeed pick up the second pistol. But they won the first pistol too, Blair, and they threw it away instantly. So they've got to make sure they hold on to this.
Did throw it away indeed. And, well, it is trickier on the T side. You know, it is definitely tricky on the T side because those pistols can be put up anywhere. And Space Soldier's going for the same setup, a pretty similar setup again. 3 players towards long. It is, of course, Paz, Major, and Engine. Paz sticking with the USB. Looks like he's opting to go for the early op-buy, which whenever the opportunity presents himself. Kirby. Kirby. A couple of warning shots. As Major just going to be trying to spot out a player, trying to bait it out for his teammates. Kirby, so walking in, spots out Pass, decapitates him, an Engine, not able to round the shot as Kirby finds a frag. Marsielle's going to mode on Major, and that should be the round done and dusted. Xantares and Khaled should be... yeah, but he should be falling back now and looking to hold on to these ARP pistols. Not much you can do from this point.
They're calling back terrors for a reason.
Yeah, not surprised.
Far off. Quite a bit of damage, and there's Calyx. It's only a Mac 10. They're making sure they send the expendable weapons in first. Don't lose either of those AKs or the UMP. UMP can easily be taken through into the first rifle round, no problems. Then again, a lot of teams will hold on to a Mac 10 in the first rifle round because many CT players will feel like they need utility over the head armor. And that's where the SMGs can really do a lot of damage. But it would seem that North are content enough to just sit and allow them to have the Deagle and the Mac 10 and the Kevlars alongside it. Just shy of $5,000 of equipment value that Space Soldiers currently possess. Looking to push through on long side using a Molotov at the same time. Xantares is going to be a goner. Calyx very well may hold on to this Mac 10. It's not just the Mac 10 though, it's also the CZ. He could drop that to someone else on his team. So they can have 2 players who are a little bit more powerful than just the USP. Looks like Paz is the man to receive the CZ.
Mac 10. Well, even if he gets a couple of kills without even just a single kill, that's money in the bank. To set himself up somewhere where it's possible, and it's going to be an A stack this time around because North having it's A time and time again. So why the hell not? Might as well stack it up and hope for the best. They do have the CZ as well on the Paz, apart from that 3 USPs, and from North. Second they get a sniff of the stack, they should be looking to go for a fast play towards B, but here they come charging into the trap. Major gets spotted out, and Khaled's not able to quite recover in time, and Major's going to be, well, the last player standing here. He is getting hunted down. He finds one more kill with the Mac 10, so it's a little bit of money in the bank, but he will fall. And that is going to be round number 9 for North. They tied things up, but here comes the buy from Space Soldiers. Paz will be looking to go for the AWP.
Just about has enough for the York and also Kevlar. So he's not going to be any glass cannon. as we saw from Mertz, who's been doing a much better job. He's on about 3 kills and 6 deaths, if memory serves me correctly, when he was trying to use the AWPs earlier on. Shifted to the AK-47 and the M4, and he was doing a lot of work. Now he's back to the AWPs, so we'll have to see if this is going to be a success. 4 players on North currently on 13 kills, so pretty evenly spread across the team. Whereas there's quite a bit of a kill difference on Space Soldiers. Antares leading with 21. Here we go, though. Push down into drop zone. We'll see North trying to take control of Connector. Galaxy is there with his M4. Not able to get a kill, but does get an assist onto Valda, who gets team killed by Kirby. He couldn't afford to take the risk. Understandable. An unfortunate team kill. The North will take the player advantage now. After winning the second pistol, they have got themselves ahead of steam. That's being taken away from Paz, but Antares has also fallen. Paz comes back with another one, keeping the evens, or the odds even, I should say, as much as possible. Kirby does have his spidey senses tingling, but someone's just behind him. Here's the noise as Major drops down from window. And now Paz, who goes in for 2 kills, has to go 2 better to try and stop this bomb and North from claiming the round.
It's not going to be easy, but he spots up another player, finds AZ before it disappears in the smoke. Now Kirby, he's picked up the bomb. He's too worried to cross on over towards the door, so he's going to stick the plant. Bombs down Paz. How much more can he do? How much further can he go here? I think Kirby did spot him out with a jump. Paz has spot him out as well. He knows it's behind the APC, and Paz, what a huge round from him. And that's how you make an impact with the AWP. He picks up a quad kill. And that is going to be the first round of Space Soldiers on the CT side. 10-9. Still early days. But yeah, that was just huge from Paz. Especially, I really like the read from him. I like what North did. They had control of the door. They had control of motor hole, of balcony, but they didn't peek out. They waited for the flank to come in from A-long. But Paz was so smart. He was so aware of that fact. He's like, no one's peeking me. That means there's a flank coming in. So great awareness from Paz to pull that one off. It's going to be enough though. They lose 4 players, so that's going to be a worrying factor.
Yeah, that is the main storyline right now for Space Soldiers. Yes, you've got your first round on the CT side, but your economy is shot to pieces. You've got to keep it going forward. If North were to win this next round, it's almost best case scenario for them in the second half. They've completely broken the economy down to Space Soldiers. AZ, just in the middle, an island of fire, but able to drill into the head of Major and eviscerate him. He will be plucked out from Zantares' nade on the retreat, so it is going to be a 1-for-1 trade overall. But Space Soldiers are going to be spread a little bit more thinly, and Calix eats 2 grenades. Valda and MSL both take him down without being spotted. That's a huge kill.
That is huge. That's so well done as well. They went for a late double nade. Calix getting completely, utterly dumpstered. However, this man's still alive. Paz. It's got a very good intuition as to where they might be coming out from. Goes for the flick shot. Nice little flick of the wrist there. Finds time to sell, and Kirby's charged out. Timing it good. He finds engine. Caught jumping. He's gonna come on to Paz again. He's trapped in this corner. He's gotta go for some peeks here. He's gonna walk on out. Spots out Mertz, but he misses it, and Mertz will not miss his shot. They've it all on his Antares. 1v3.
He's not interested. As good as he is, as possible as the clutch would be in his hands, he realizes his days are numbered. He doesn't have a nade to burst through onto the site with. And plus, retaking A in a 1-on-3 on Cobblestone is one of the hardest sites in the entire game to retake. The entry points are very claustrophobic, very narrow. It's easy to smoke them off, and very easy to cover when you have a player advantage, as North do right now. So yeah, Zantares, you know he's itching to try and clutch that. You know he's itching. He's the kind of player that kind of fancies himself in these kind of clutch scenarios, and why the hell not? He's good enough. But I think he realizes, yeah, this is better for my team if I save the M4, because our economy is absolutely destroyed. It's better for me to live to fight another day. 10-10 though, and now North, they're in a commanding position.
There indeed. The bind is going to be coming in for Space Soldiers. For Mars, CZ's Paz with the full eco. He's going to be put out for the inevitable AWP. And why the hell not? He's been looking very, very effective indeed. That was a little quite the previous round. And for North, this is a chance to start to try and build up a substantial lead. If they win this, Space Soldiers will have to go for a full eco. Then it's 12-10. It's definitely going to favor the Danish side. Calix boosting his teammate up. Let's drop. And that is Engine with the CZ. Why the hell not? Actually, no, it's Major. And Okay, that's just so unfortunate for Major. His smoke was there, but MSL with a random bullet through the smoke, the pre-fire, and it catches him off guard. So his head's got to be completely punched in. We just lose CZ. B bomb site. This is troubling. Calyx. An Engine, a lot of work to do involved. Some flashes way in. He finds a kill. Engine king for 2. He finds both of them and picked up the AK-47 as well. So this is something, and a bomb's dropped too. So if Xantares can make his way towards the B bomb site, he can definitely help his teammate out. Engine immediately swapping the AK-47 out, dropping it over to his teammate. It's tense here.
Yeah, it's kind of two separate sides of plays, and the bomb slap bang in the middle of the two of them. Kirby, though, does have the height advantage. He currently pushed on upper drop. So he's looking for the flashbang as a first kill onto Paz. He's trying to thin out as many space soldiers as possible so they can get their hands on the bomb. So AZ's done just now. Xantares long range is going to land the first shot, but Mertz will answer back, not allowing Xantares any more action in this round. And Kirby will finalize the kill onto an already weakened Engine, seeing North take 11-10 lead with space soldiers onto an eco.
I like what North did there, even though the bomb was down. Even though the bomb was down in drop, they didn't panic at all. Took their sweet time, worked to perfection in the end. Just even though it was a 3v3 scenario, they just lost one player. And yeah, eco territory for a space soldiers. You're going to be going for the full eco, but for the full eco, I'm sorry, as just USBs all around. Paz in 3,500, so he should be able to afford the AWP the next round because it's going to be $2,400 bonus, lost bonus. And here they come marching into the B bomb site, and it's an absolute slaughter. The AKs, the MAC-10 singing aloud. The B bomb site, just like that, in the span of a few seconds, bereft of any CT presence. It's going to be round number 12 for North.
Paz and Engine will just be filtering out around the map. Want to make sure, at this stage, obviously they got USPs, but they don't want to give any more kills to either MSL or Kirby. They know there's MAC-10s in play. Dying at this point to MAC-10 is just extra money for North. There's no reason to do that. Plus, just going to set up for some exit frags. See if they can maybe take a couple of weapons away from North. Engine living on borrowed time. He's about to get spotted. MSL peeking in and just gets destroyed almost in midair. Hell of a shot by Engine, but he's going to be disappointed to find out his reward is only a MAC-10. So he's okay to throw this away. It's very unlikely he'll keep this, even if he were to survive. He'd upgrade to a different weapon almost instantly. So Space Soldiers 12-10 behind, and well, there we have it. The reason for Paz's earlier save. He does have the AWP. However, there's going to be no kits.
No kits, so they will need to go for some contact plays here. No incendiaries as well. So if North play this right, if they can drop the smokes in the hands of Space Soldiers right now, and they go for like a late round or like off mid-round hit, Space Soldiers going to be in for a world of pain. They really Paz though spotted Kirby, almost lands a shot. He will have to make his escape. Does have backup in the form of Engine, but look at the utility. Minute and 30 seconds on the clock and have 0 smokes remaining and 6 flashbangs. No kit, no incendiaries, nothing. And North, they can abuse this fact.
Yeah, MSL's the kind of leader that will know if they've gone for this kind of a purchase, their nades will be scarce. He'll be keeping an eye on the economy as this game has been proceeding. So at this point, there's a reason for North's slow, steady approach, but now they've decided to speed things up, and that's into the grinder. Xantares, the executioner for 2 kills. Major is also going to pick up 2 of his own. And North, they had the right idea to start off with, but then they just started to push one by one. It seemed like a almost death by indecision situation. Now Kirby must know that Space Soldiers' economy is bad, so if I just sit here, hope that a couple players push me, maybe I can make this thing a little bit more. He does have control of the bomb at the very least. Maybe if he can get himself through onto the A site, this is where the bomb plant could come in. Space Soldiers they've completely gone all in on this being a B hit.
Kirby, he has no idea that A bomb set is right. He has no clue whatsoever. And he will peek out Paz there to find him. That's just Kirby. He could have got a free bomb plan out of that. And from there, whatever damage he does is worth its weight in gold. The Space Soldiers, bear in mind, they were in danger of, you know, they still don't have much money to work with. And dual upset, they just lose one player. But that's the thing with the CT side, right? Even if you win the round even if you win one round keeping most of your players alive, you will have to repurchase all that utility, and that's quite a lot of money, especially on the CT side. So they're not quite out of the water yet. Have to try and string a couple of runs together while maintaining well, trying to keep most of the players alive. North, though, still have the 1-round lead. It's slow. Once again, working the way towards mid, where Paz is waiting with Engine.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the difference between the incendiary grenade and the Molotov, I believe the Molotov's $400, incendiary is like $650. So if you go for full grenades on a CT, let's say that you go for one of each grenade, that's $1,450 you're spending each time if you use all your grenades. That is going to stack up, especially if you're losing plays, especially if you have to repurchase Kevlar. Flashbang's not great for North, but it's not going to punish them, as Kiabida took it from his teammate. Paz, in the meanwhile, it's going to be coming round. It's going to be a 2-for-1. I was about to say they're going to line up for him. And that is the perfect start for Space Soldiers. North had their backs turned to long. That is suicide.
Oh, you got it. You hate to see it, don't you? I mean, they held that angle for so very long, and the timing of that. Paz like, yeah, I think I could peek it now. Peeks it, 1 shot, 2 dead. That's the stuff nightmares are made of, especially if you're a North player. However, Kirby catches Engine. Paz is still there, but Valdi doesn't care. He's gonna decay like that. It's now back to a 3v3, and I love this from North. They're falling all the way back.
They don't have time.
Aren't they?
They don't have time. That's 20 seconds. They've got to relocate to long. I think they realize that the sites are going to be trained on mid instead. But they've got 10 seconds. They don't have time to let this round's done. And to make matters worse, I was going to say, will Velda die after time? That would have been the salt in the wounds in terms of their upcoming buys. But North deciding to back out with 20 seconds left. Was it a case maybe that MSL called rotate, and then someone said, mate, we don't have enough time? Is that why they went so long?
Yeah, I think it was a brain fart right there. Like, in heat of the moment, you kind of forget what's happening. And, yeah. But, whew, that round, Space Soldiers, they kept 3 players alive. They still have the dual up setup in play. That's very crucial indeed. And for North, the money is kind of in a dumpster. Merits and MSL, an average of $2,400. Valdi can buy. So can AZ. Kirby can eke out maybe a Galil armor and some utility about it. So, pretty big decision to make. And considering it's 12 all right now, I would ideally just go for some pistols and maybe a couple of smoke, trying to get the bomb down, try to deal out some damage. But oh, they're gonna go for this. I'm not a big fan of this, to be very honest. I mean, it kind of makes sense as well, because they know Space Soldiers, they still need to string a few rounds before they start to build up an economy. But is it worth it? Is it worth going for a buy like this just to ensure that Space Soldiers' money remains kind of honest? Or would you rather play it a little bit more passively, try and destroy the next round? It's fine, just go for a full eco, allow Space Soldiers to build up a decent sum of a decent amount of economy, and then you go against them with a full buy. I mean, these are hard decisions to make, and MSL, he's made one tough one indeed. Will it pan out is a question.
All about that weighing up the risk versus reward, and clearly MSL feels like if they can win this round against Space Soldiers and break their economy once more, it could be their key to victory. They didn't want to give them a chance to bolster up their economy even more if they went for some kind of a half buy. But yeah, I mean, this is an incredibly ballsy decision. MSL's going to catch Engine though. He decides to dart back across and just try and raw time Space Soldiers. Ace's being tagged up in the smoke, but he is the decoy. He's trying to do everything he can to make sure that Space Soldiers keep players on B site, while North decide to aggress on A. Paz has already picked up one in a second, a beautiful flick, and that could be a determining factor, but MSL is going to come back with a kill of his own. Goes for the outright plant, 2-on-3. Enough time for the bomb plant, MSL won't get stopped in the process. And our Majors, Antares, and Calix trying to retake. Calix is going to be coming up through long. Valda's going to be watching the balcony. Calix gets the first kill, now Valda, it's all on him. It would be one hell of a clutch if he pulled this off. It's not looking good, though, and they're going to peek him, and Antares is the player to put the final nail in the coffin of that force spy. North at least get a bomb plant, though, but is that going to be enough?
Not going to be enough. That was a very ballsy call indeed for charging him. But Paz, man, dude, oh, much work with an AWP. More than just getting the kills, the fact that he stayed alive for so very long, conveying information to his team that, hey, it's a fake. It's just one guy over at B. It's only AZ all by his lonesome. The hits at A. Just conveying the information itself was huge enough. And now Space Soldiers 13-12, and the gamble has not worked out for North. They do have a third unlost bonus. They will have $2,900 in next round. So with the average 2,200 in the bag they have right now. They can eke out a pretty decent fight the next round, but by then, Space Soldiers, they have a very good opportunity to get to 14 rounds, and that nade's gonna suck. Valde takes a massive hit. CZ's dropping towards drop can always be dangerous indeed.
They at least have drop control, but it's really what they're going to do next with that. A lot of teams will allow drop to be taken, especially against pistols. Valde, though, with a solid headshot. Mert's not going to be playing aggressive. Paz has consistently landed these close-range shots, so you definitely wouldn't put it against him, but he misses this time, and Mertz will take his head clean off. Trades across to his preferred AWP. That nade's got damage written all over it and will silence Engine. When you see CZ, you're not necessarily expecting they're still going to have a nade at this stage of the round. And a bomb is moving to B, North, in a round that they should never ever be close to winning. I'm going to get the bomb planted, and Zataris is cleaning up on A. But they may get baited out because two players were there thinking it was actually an A plant and waste a few more valuable seconds. North, they're not out the woods just yet in this round. Zantaris with his 2K has given them a very real possibility to bounce back. The flashbangs and smokes are being deployed just outside of the doors, but so will Valde CZ. It's good for one kill. AZ, all that remains, going to miss his first shot. Needs to land this for North. If they want any chance at winning this map, it needs to be right here, right now. Smoke onto the site, as Calyx is going to be darting across. There's not much time left, though, and AZ's going to switch to a sidearm. Spraying wildly and just lands the headshot with the last bullet. North are going to do it 13 apiece. And what about that for a round? Out of nowhere.
I'm a little speechless at the moment. Holy Christ. What a round. Zantaris, 4v2. You seem like it was lost. Zantaris picks up a double kill, coming down to 1v1, but what a round from North, though. Like, virtually nothing to work with. That was a round for Space Soldier to get to 14. And where the force wise didn't work out, just the pistols out wonderfully. That was a huge round indeed. Oh boy.
If North win from this point, Blair, that could be the moment. That could be the moment right there, the fulcrum point.
Yep, that could be Tilt Central for Space Soldiers.
Because not only does it get North back into this game in terms of winning the round, it bolsters their economy so much. They were looking at a fairly poor buy in the next round. They certainly wouldn't have had the likes of an AWP, or at least not with full nades. It's also plunged Space into economic downturn themselves, and it's evened us up at 13 apiece. So that was just a multiple threat round to lose as far as Space Soldiers are concerned. That is huge.
Bonkers round indeed, and Major flashbang was good. I do believe blinded, but he shot to perfection. He gets to kill. The op taken out. Engine can pick it up, or Paz, can he make his way there? He is far, far away from the B bomb site. And the op hasn't been recovered, so Engine will have to just make do with the CZ. Let's have Calyx for backup. The North, I like what they're doing, slowing things down, pulling it out. They have control of drop, but Calyx will find MSL. Calyx is doing hungry and is gonna get a ding to Devalde, but not and the kill. So just one player, that is going to be Engine, who peeks in, gets a kill on Devalde, makes it a 3v3, and he does retrieve a rifle to work with, and here it comes to play. 3 players charging in, the nade's going to sail in from Zantaris, and that's going to take a chunk out of the player there, but Mertz, he will still somehow find Engine on top of the smoke, and now Zantaris, he's got to go big or go home, he's got to go big, finds AZ, but Kirby is going to reply back, it's all on Paz, 1v2. What could he possibly do? Bomb yet to get planted. So he does have that going for him.
He's peacing out for the time being. I think he's called, okay, this round's done. I don't have a kit, I don't have nades. Maybe if North really mind game themselves and take ages to plant, I've got a chance to actually rotate and catch one of these off guard. And actually, he's not going to go for the save. He's gone for the all-out rotation. A ballsy play. But one that North probably don't expect, or they may do, but it'll be another 10-15 seconds before they expect him to be in this position. Factoring everything in. Paz, round the side. We'll see Mertz, but he tries to find Kirby too. The reason he doesn't pull the trigger is if he can. If Kirby was like perched up on statue, he could have got both the players at once. But unfortunately, Kirby was in the alcove. So solid try, but ultimately North will take the lead, and Space Soldiers flat out broke.
This is the stuff that nightmares are made of, especially if you're an SS fan, because Full eco. They don't want to invest anything into this round because North are going to be at map point, most likely. Want to jinx anything. And with that, even with the lost bonus, it's not going to be a lot to work with, Vince. Like $2,000 plus 2,400. It's like an M4, some Kevlar, maybe a smoke and a flashbang. It's just not enough to hold off these sites against the combined force of North. And look at the presence towards drop. 2 AKs, it's Valdi and MSL looking for any CT to show themselves. Valdi even trying to fake out the sound of the T dropping down. Taking this very slowly and passively. For Space Soldiers, they've gambled everything on this B stack. 5 USBs in the site. It is doable. I've seen a couple of games where those USBs can deal a lot of damage with bomb site. Angle to check, but North with a very, very, very good call. They're heading towards the A bomb site. And once they walk in, they're going to find out it's completely open, empty. It's theirs for the taking.
Yeah, I think a lot of this is based off the fact that Kirby's already taken some long control. And if you're going to stack on A, you're stacking around mid and long. B is a lot more favorable, I'd say, for stacking. There's a lot of different angles you can play from a CT's perspective. A, not so much. So North have made the correct decision. That solid shot pulling by MSL. Bomb going to get planted. This round is all but over. And Space Soldiers, I mean, there's no reason for them to save per se. They're not even against that many SMGs, just the 1 UMP. But this could be more of a tactical timeout, in the back of their minds, just talking about what they're going to do next. See if they can get maybe an exit frag additionally and take one of these AKs away. That would be a huge get. And Valda's taking damage, actually. So a small gap will afford Calyx the opportunity to strike. They won't be able to get their hands on the AK-47, though, because MSL is laid in wait. He's taking a bit of damage himself this round. In terms of where it's going, it's only one way, and that's North. Paz surviving for way longer than I was thinking. But, yeah, Nature is able to get the 1 kill in retaliation. And they're not bad kills, actually. It does allow them to get a few more nades. That's a little bit more kill reward coming in that originally they probably shouldn't have got.
Indeed. Every $200, $300 they're going to get, it's definitely worth it, because, like I mentioned, if you look at this buy, 3 of them do have helmets. One would have thought, looking at the position they're in right now, they would have rather invested the $350 in an extra nade, maybe a kit, maybe an extra couple of flashbangs, but instead of opting for the helmets, they're probably assuming that there might be a player with a Mac-10 or maybe even a UMP. That be a detriment for them on this round remains to be seen. But for North, they are on map point here. This is the map becoming from Space Soldiers, ladies and gentlemen. It is map number 1 as well. Bear in mind, map number 2 is going to be Nuke, which most of us are thinking would favor North. So Space Soldiers, if there was time for them to really come alive, now is the time. To win 2 in a row to take it to overtime. And for North, they should just try and close this out right now.
I mean, if the previous best of 3 that we saw Space Soldiers play against B-Pro has anything to go by, then Nuke did look a bit shaky. I mean, it didn't look that good, and I think North will punish them. So the pressure is really on, the stress mounting for Space Soldiers. And if they want to qualify, again, remember, the best of 3, Victor, the winner, will be going across the DreamHack Masters in France. Flashbang solid, as is the entry. MSL capitalizes onto a blind Calyx. He's going to be looking to his right-hand side. MSL, he will spot Engine. It's looking good for North, just 2 kills away from taking this first map. The choice of Space Soldiers, not if Paz has something to do about it. 1 kill for him, and a second, and he only loses 27 health. That's 2 clean kills. It gives him a little bit of sunlight, a little bit of wiggle room, a bit of hope, maybe.
Paz. 2 huge kills from him. But will that sliver of hope go away is a question. Major, perfect timing. He finds MSL. He finds Versus.
What?
Vince, hold me. How did that even happen? What?
North.
What? 2v5. 2v5. Map point. 2v5. And North decide to gift the round of Space Soldiers. Taking nothing away from Paz and Major, but that should not have happened.
Just way too aggressive in the peaks. I just don't understand it. I think it was Paz that got a couple kills through Connector.
Yes.
And they peaked him 1 by 1. That was surprising, but fair enough. Maybe they thought, okay, it's 2v5, you know, one of us will take this kill, let's pad our stats before this map's over. But then what the hell happens at a 2-on-3 there? Major gets 2 frags by himself walking out into the open. That is simply not good enough for North. And now everything that's happened in this game, every point that's led us to this stage means nothing. Because North are going to be tilted. They've got players in our team that are quite emotional. The Danes are notorious for this. MSL's the kind of guy that can get a bit emo, shall we say, over stuff like this happening. He'll be furious, and rightfully so. So this timeout, I think, is just a pure detox period. Like, guys, come on. That's ridiculous we just lost that round.
I'm still trying to digest that. I'm just trying to digest what the hell happened there. Because, yeah, I mean... Alright, let's forget about that. Space Soldiers, ooh, speed coming out from North, and Anderson's going to fall immediately. Picking him from the air, and they're going to run him through the flames. The bomb's dropped at his feet as well. Engine picking up 2 kills. Another incendiary being tossed in by Calyx. Vince, I do believe we're good.
This game should have been done. We should have been just about talking about going for a pause in between the 2 maps. But instead, North has somehow let this slip through. And if it goes to overtime, as it looks it will, unless Valda can pull off something special with the first kill, the tilt is going to be real. North, every single round, will be thinking this should have already been over. Yeah, 2v5 retake on A site. Again, I discussed, it's one of the hardest sites to get back onto when you're player deficit. North don't have control of the bomb. It's in a horrible spot, actually, out in mid. Valda's going to try and see if he can maybe get a kill on his approach around the backs, and Tars is watching. Eagle-eyed, has been spotted. But Valda's position now compromised. AZ's going to be coming out of long. Can he get anything done? There's one, but answered back instantly from Paz, who's consistently been a beast with the AWP. Kirby onto Centaurus, but has lost a lot of health in the process. And Engine will oblige and push him over the edge. All on Valda. 22 seconds to play with, 66 health. This is looking like it may just be impossible. 15 seconds. Valda can't wait around any longer. He's got to just run in. He's got to take that bomb. And in doing so, he's going to give his back up to Engine. There's no way he gets 2 kills in 3 seconds. And we're going to overtime. North will be sick to their stomach.
Oh. I'd hate to be North right now. I would hate to be North right now. 15-13, 2v5. In your favor. Bomb down. And now we're seeing overtime. Just Counter-Strike things, ladies and gentlemen. But, on the bright side, we have a game in our hands. It's overtime, and nothing matters anymore. It's, you know, whatever happened the past 45 or 50 minutes doesn't matter at all. It's a complete reset. Both teams starting from scratch again. What, like, Space Soldier's gonna be pretty rejuvenated right now. They're gonna be like, alright, guys, we can still pull this off. But for North, like... would they have probably, I don't know, tilted themselves at this point? I don't know.
I would say it's almost guaranteed. Some tilt in there right now. Space Soldiers will be like, guys, we're actually still in this map. This is now winnable. Momentum-wise, mentality-wise, I definitely think this favors Space Soldiers at this stage. We also saw that when it came to North having a lot of money on their CT side, they didn't really do much with it. Mertz didn't have much impact with York. Paz certainly has. Paz has been awesome with York today. So, yeah, I think this does actually favor Space Soldiers.
I do agree. Like, it comes down to, like, more experienced teams who, when they're on the receiving end of a comeback, or you want to kind of, like, have a couple of rounds like how North did, you know, you want to kind of mentally reset yourself. But you did mention, like, how MSL is a little bit of more emotional, a little bit more, you know, that sort of an in-game leader. And unless he should be the guy, he should be telling the rest of the team, all right, guys, you know, forget it. It's fine. It's okay. It's overtime. It's anyone's game right now. We can just mentally reset ourselves and just go for this. And I think that's what North should be doing. Will they do it? We don't know, but the game will be resuming. And oh, it's 16K. This should be fun.
I genuinely think, though, that if you substituted MSL for any other in-game leader, they'd be just as tilted. Like, how would you not be tilted at losing that 2v5? I don't think it's a single in-game lead. It doesn't matter how zen you are, how peaceful you are. Like, that is making your blood boil, whoever you are. But they've got to just mentally reset. They've got to try and bounce back in. It's all even now. North can still win this. They'll feel like it's already lost, but they can still win. Space Soldiers have looked far from perfect today. So this is still winnable. They've got to tell themselves that. And Space Soldiers are just like, great, now let's just win this map. Let's get this over and done with.
To be honest with Vince, I mean, I think Happy would approve of what North did. He'd be like, yes, that's how you play, with balls. They're gonna need the balls though. There's a drop in towards drop. Glorious lava. That's with the op. He's gonna be challenging. There is a player waiting for him, but the smoke is gonna obscure his vision, as he will be forced back for a bit. In the meantime, Pass still holding towards long. Now it's all about timing. The flank is coming in. Sorry, rather that is Kirby, who's coming towards long pretty late, and by that time, Pass would have evacuated the premises. North, 42 seconds. They really haven't committed much yet. They have control of drop, but Kirby, is he going to walk into the crosshair? The waiting arms of Paz is the question, and he will indeed. Paz is going to get the kills, and Tara is completely blind. The timing off by a second, and it's going to be MSL punishing him for it. And there's going to be the B hit coming in. 26 seconds remaining on the clock. They need to go for this right about now, and Callus is there. He's going to find MSL. Callus is holding the line, and it's going to be Mertz who takes a lot of damage, but he does get the kill. Major finds Mertz. Flashbangs is good from his teammates. He peeks out wide, finds Ace. He gets another kill on the Vault. A triple kill from Major. Great hold from him. And it's going to be Space Soldiers getting the first round of overtime.
Yeah, great round for Space Soldiers. Just what they were looking for. After a tilted North. Gotta capitalize on that. Major, 27 kills, Pass 28, and Centaurus 31. They actually have all the top fraggers on the server currently, Space Soldiers. Now, sure, Valda did get a DC, so his kills can't be accurate, but most they have is Kirby on 25. So this has been a real solid performance by the Turkish side. So they're looking to push 2 players over onto the long with the AWP. Joined alongside Engine with his M4. Pretty standard setup though for Space Soldiers. 2-1-2 formation. They can easily wrap themselves around Xantares, who's going to start to make a move now. Over on the A side.
Has missing the shot. He will make his escape. Full moves there. North. It's a 16k rule set, so they can go for proper buy even if they do lose this one into the 3rd round. In the meantime, look like they're pretty much telegraphing that they're going to be going for this A hit, unless they have a change of mind late in the round. With 50 seconds remaining, they need to do something here. 3 CTs waiting for them. Xantares. Oh, this is so ballsy from him. He finds one, finds 2. What is this man doing? This finding is taken up. There's no time remaining. 35 seconds. They gotta push in now, and they're going to defense Pass, playing all the way from the back of the side. He's got backup as well in the form of Engine. And for North, they're going to be heading towards B, but Major is ready and waiting, and that smoke just bloomed, I think, a few seconds back, so he's still got more time. 18 seconds. He hears them all those charging out, and they're not going to be ready for him. As Major spraying through the smoke, he'll make his escape as well. Emerson's going to walk in. Major runs out of bullets, but a USB comes out. He gets the kill. It's all in Mertz. There's not much you can do here. You just fall back and hold on to his AWP, and that is what he's going to do.
Won't be saving his AWP. That's going to get denied. But with 16k, of course, they can just buy it again, no problems. Should be able to get a drop across the Mertz if he wants to go for another AWP, but again, I feel like overall he's had more impact when it came to the AKs and the M4s. He is going to go for the AWP though, so he'll be running with that this round. And North, plenty of grenades behind it. So we go again, but Space Soldiers certainly have upped their game since overtime started. Feeling like they got away with it a little bit in regulation, but trying to make sure they punish North for those mistakes.
Punishment. It is going to be punishment if Space Soldiers come back and win this for North. And right now, though, I think it's attack pause getting called by North. We'll be talking things out because right now things are not going their way. Space Soldiers up 17 to 15. And if they can win this round, if they make it 18-15, all the pressure is going to be north. The CT side hasn't been that impressive, to be very honest. So all Space Soldiers need to do, if they win this round, they get to 18 rounds, they go into the T side, all they need to do is find that one round, find that one little chink in the armor, which they can exploit. And from what we've seen, there has been quite a number of holes in the way North have been playing their CT side. So let's see what's going to happen here. Round number 3 of the first half of overtime number 1. Has once more with the AWP, a couple of AKs for the CTs, Major and Calyx wielding the terrorist rifles. And for North, again, all the utility in the world to work with. What can it do with it? Question.
Well, considering that both teams went 9-6 on their T side, you've got to say that CT rounds are so valuable and so important in how the overtime is going to play out. Major going to peek out with the mollies and the flashes accompanying him, so he's not going to be able to see anybody just yet. But now Mertz is going to make a move with his AWP. Major goes peeking, he finds the information, but it's at the cost of his life. Not worth it. Now Xantares and Calyx, the remaining B defenders, they pretty much have to sit in position, but they have no one watching from the Windows side of connector. Now Paz realizes that is a gaping hole that someone's going to have to fill in. And although there's a smoke down, it's a couple nades too. 55 seconds left, and this is North's best chance of getting around in overtime that we've seen so far.
So, peeking out, finding 2 CTs staring down at him. The Molotov is gonna... not too much of damage, but the nade, though. Chunk out of Episode, but more importantly, look at what C4 is going. He's heading over towards A, but Engine deserted both people down. He gets 3 kills. He's been having such a quiet game, but he redeems himself. He finds 3. Kirby pushing it through the smoke. He gets a frag. He's looking for more, but he's going to be double peaked. Calyx is going to win that one. Not too sure why Kirby would have to go for that play. Maybe he's trying to at least try to neutralize a couple of players before the bomb got planted, but he falls. It's all in merits. He's in a 1v3. He's got the AWP, his favorite weapon of choice to work with. So he's charging in and he misses the first shot, though. He picks out a P215. Calyx will punish him for that miss. There's a huge error for Engine, Vince, because that round could have easily and comfortably gone the way of North.
Yeah, very well played by Engine. And Space Soldiers completely deserving to be 18-15 in the lead here in overtime. They have been the better team as soon as OT came into play. North, again, we mentioned this earlier, they really struggled on their CT side, even when they had rifles. In fact, 2 of their rounds that I can think of came off the back of pistols. They won a couple of ecos against Space Soldiers, so when they had the rifles, they actually struggled a lot more. So getting 3 in a row, I just don't see how that's possible, Blair. I think Space Soldiers pick this up now and move to Nuke 1-0 up. Now, and move to Nuke 1-0 up.
How the tides can change from one little mistake. North, they were in map point. They had 2 map points. They had a 2v5. I know I'm repeating this time and time again, but it just has to be emphasized how one small little mistake cannot just cost them a round, but can cost them a crucial map. 18-15 Space Soldiers. You just need one round, one solitary round. And this T side has, their T side has been pretty solid overall. We saw it in regulation. We're looking quite on point. North, though, what are they gonna do here? I'd be very surprised if they went for the standard default setups. They need to try and mix things up. Maybe take a little bit of risk here and there, but they can't afford to, to kind of telegraph the way they're playing to be so predictable, which is what they've been on their during when they're on the CD side. So I'd be surprised if they just played very passively. They need to take the fight to Space Soldiers. They need to be a little bit more dynamic with the way they're going about things, or else I think Major and his men are just going to close this one out.
They've gone for a double AWP. So this is the first time I believe that we'll see the double AWP. I don't remember them having it on CT side in regulation for North. And on the other side, Space Soldiers are going for full AKs. So Paz not interested in taking the AWP. He's very, very good with the AK in the first half too. And this allows them to be much more dynamic and much more aggressive with their plays. They don't have to set up shop. They don't have to try and get the AWP into play. They can just bulldoze over North. And it's going to be MSL who's going to look to push out. Oblong spots himself as Antares, but the aggression, he's not going to be worth it. And when you see where Mertz is currently positioned, I don't understand that play at all. Like, he had no support. He went off by himself, like lone gunman.
I don't. I mean, especially you're the in-game leader. You don't, when you're 18-15 down, your opponents have 3 map points. You don't want to just go for these YOLO plays, just going in all by your lonesome. Absolutely no trade potential whatsoever. I know he's trying to be cheeky, trying to probably catch someone off guard, but it's just not worth it. And now, man down. You see Space Soldiers immediately falling all the way back, setting up for the smokes towards B. It's going to come down to AZ. He's not going to miss his shots, though. He's going to find Paz. He's looking for more, finds another one, gets Engine, is shutting it down. He's looking for more, fine, gets shut down by Calyx. But Calyx now at 16 HP. I'm not sure if he got legged as well. Yes, he did indeed. Easy did get the leg onto him. Now it's all on Xantares. He gets shut down by Valde, but what a hero play coming up from AZ.
Yes, without AZ, that round's done, and we're looking at Nuke, quite simply. Huge players with the AWP. And North get away with it. So there's 1 of 3 required, 2 more in a row, if they want to take us to a second overtime. Space Soldiers, they did poke and they did probe, and weren't too far off getting the win. But will they go in for another full AK round? You can see that Paz, he's the last player to buy. They're deliberating over this. They're thinking, do we go for an AWP? Do we maybe slow this down a little bit? Or do we go for the full AKs? We're about to get the answer, and it will be full AK-47s. So the Turkish side looking for more of the same. And again, if you take AZ out of the equation and he doesn't land those shots, Space Soldiers have won it. So they don't necessarily need to change a lot up. Just try and counteract your presence on B long.
AZ will be repositioning himself to recreate some of those heroics from the previous round, but from a different vantage point. We're playing towards the statue, and alright, Space Soldiers this time around not really adventuring out towards mid, towards A. With AZ though, he's feeling adventurous again. Xantares is going to fall. That's a crucial kill, and here goes the ball of flashes pouring in. AZ is going to miss the second shot though, but they have no idea. There's a player tucked away in the corner. That is Valde. When he's going to strike, he's going to strike now. He's going to find 1, 2, 3 kills from Valde. That is huge from him, but Calyx, it's all on him in a 1v4, making it a 1v2. Got to find Kirby. Not able to spot him out. Playing at the edge of that smoke. They don't want to give away any kill here. Don't want to make it a 1v1. Calyx, he's got the bomb. Smoke's gonna bloom, gonna block off Mertz. Tries to top a shot, so he knows where one player is, but still has no idea what Kirby is sitting in.
Calyx with 40 seconds, gonna look to move in. And it's all about Kirby at this stage. He's been spotted, and Calyx has landed another one. He's on for the clutch. He's on for the 1v4. It's all on Mertz. Must be shaking his head. Should never have been put in this position, but Calyx has done phenomenal work. And is it going to be him to finish it off? It will! Calyx in style will close out the map. And Space Soldiers move to Nuke 1-0 in the lead.
Oh, what a clutch from Calyx. 1v. Despite the heroics of Valde, who got 3 kills from a position where it was a pretty much one and done spot. 1 kill, maybe 2. He found 3. And yet Calyx, that was nutty from him. That was so well played, and alright Vince, map 1 goes the way of Space Soldiers, and now we're going to be seeing Nuke. And if you're in the North camp, how tilted are you? How crushed